Alright. What up, YouTube fam? What up? We're back for the Sunday stream. Apologies, guys. I actually forgot to schedule it and I was too busy getting the new video posted. But here we are. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Good morning, man. Good morning. Good afternoon from Stockholm, Sweden. Good afternoon. People from all over the world already. I'm just going to get Zoom set up here, guys. But yeah, I just posted a new video, guys, as well. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. How to become a travel trader, kind of breaking down the figures a little bit more. But I forgot, because we've only just started doing it since last week, that we're going to be doing the Sunday market breakdowns every single Sunday here on YouTube. I'll try and do it around the similar time as well, and I'll schedule them in as well, just so you guys know when they're coming on. Love the new travel trader video. Hey, good man, thank you. Glad you enjoyed it. Let me just, sorry, I'm just posting in the Zoom link. Yeah, I'll try and, like, you know, if anyone did have any questions from the travel trading video that you want me to, like, clarify a little bit more, or you want to ask me any more questions, then this will also be an opportunity for you guys to ask me some more questions as well. You know, we'll break it down a little bit more for you guys. You know, obviously I've spent over 3 years being a travel trader. Spent the first, 2.5 years doing it solo, and then, you know, eventually start to then share my journey. So I'm sure there's lots of things that I can share with you guys as well. Yeah, gold had a lovely push down into our liquidity region. Really nice push. I'll share this with you guys in a second. I'll just let a few more people join in. Guys, share the love, share the link with some people. Drop a little like. I'll try and share the link as well. I hadn't scheduled it in, so I don't know if we'll have as many people joining as normal. But we'll see. Regardless, this will be uploaded after as well. But we'll see. Let me just give it 5 more minutes. Stick to the scheduled time. And then we'll start breaking down the charts. So maybe start looking at gold. You know, gold futures is all we're really trading. Let me just play this on here. And if you guys want to ask any questions about all the antics that's been happening in the prop firm world, you guys ask some questions, we can talk about that as well. Excuse me. It's less bright in my face. Let me just turn the light down a little bit. It's a bit too bright for this time of night. How long would you say you have to be consistent on a funded account to be confident to start traveling? I don't know. It depends, really, man. Like maybe 3 to 4 months consistency. You know, once you're actually funded, 3 to 4 months, get a few payouts. Prove to yourself that you can actually do it, and whenever you're ready, take the leap. Like I said, I took the leap probably earlier than what I maybe should have, but for me, it was probably one of the best things that I've ever done. And you know, when I decided to, you know, quit my job, leave my hometown, and go pursue travel and trading, it's not as if I was making, you know, thousands, you know, 10,000 plus a month every single month, but I was consistently making, you know, slightly less than maybe what I would in a 9-to-5 job, but I was free and I was happy, and it gave me the freedom mentally to be able to work even harder at trading, give me more time to put into the charts, gain more funding, grow my personal capital, adapt in trading, and just be able to be more present, but more importantly, be more happy with my situation. You know, when I was working the full-time job, I absolutely hated my life, and I was trying to take that negativity out on the charts, which is just stupid. So when you trade from a point of having to trade because you need to make money, it becomes very, very difficult. But yeah, like 3 to 4 months. You know, if you get your first payout, you know, one of my first payouts was like around $5,000, and you know, that covered like at least 2 to 3 months worth of my travel. So I take that. That's my cushion. Amazing. I'm gone. I'm out. But yeah, it took me like it took me 2 years to gain any sort of consistency in trading. But I, went around things probably the worst way than, So the reason I do these streams is so you guys don't have to deal with all the social media bullshit, excuse me, that I had to go through. But, you can definitely do it in a lot quicker. It may take you even a little bit longer. Let me just share my screen. I don't know who's going to join the Zoom. It's a very last minute Zoom. I think the mic's on. Yeah, cool. My mic's on. Yo, Aaron, you sub here. Hey, what's up, man? Just found your channel. Thank you, man. Love you here in Australia. Yeah, man. I'm in. I just moved up to the Sunshine Coast. Been in Australia. Actually, been in Australia for a year. I think it was like a year yesterday or something, which is crazy. Let me just check. Because I meant to check this actually. When did I first get to Australia? Man, this year. If it's a year, it's flown by, man. Let me see. Yeah, crazy. So I landed into Australia 1 year yesterday, which is crazy. This year's absolutely flown by. But in terms of broker for futures, I'm using NinjaTrader. I'm using NinjaTrader, and then I'm trading on the funded Top Step account as well, which I'll share with you. I'm in the Gold Coast. Oh, nice, man. When I first came to Australia, that's where I stayed in the Gold Coast for about a month. And it was, I wanted to actually live in the Gold Coast for a little bit longer, but it was literally impossible for me to secure a place at the time. It was very, very hard. Then I had to move up to Brisbane, and I got a place so much easier. My plan was to move back down, and then I met my partner, and now now we just moved into a nice place in the Sunshine Coast. But yeah, I love the Gold Coast, man. I love the Gold Coast. Looking at NinjaTrader tutorials, so I can slowly make switch over to futures instead of forex 50. Yeah, come on, make the change. You will not regret it. YouTube fam, drop a little like for the stream. We got 16 people tune in, 3 likes. It's a very last minute stream. Like I say, my apologies. We were I meant to actually schedule this in, but I was too busy trying to finish the video. But I'll start breaking down the charts in a second. Let me just have a quick look at the news for the week. I posted it into the Discord before. Let me just refresh. Let me just load this up here. Cool. So there is it's a US bank holiday, so there'll be no trading for me at all tomorrow. Futures markets will likely be closed, I believe, or at least for half the day or something. So we know trading tomorrow, USD bank holiday. You got some Australian dollar cash rate news on Tuesday. More AUD news on Wednesday. And then we got some pretty big Canadian dollar and US dollar PMI on Thursday. Well, no, sorry, that'll actually be like this is Brisbane time. Let me just change my calendar to London just because I just find it easier. Where's London? Just so I can see what the times are based in and work it out. So yeah, the USD news is going to be very late for me on Wednesday. More Australian dollar news on Thursday. A lot of Australian dollar news this week. And you got unemployment claims again for the US dollar on Thursday. So we're going to be an unemployment claim for the CAD on Friday. So yeah, we got a pretty busy week in terms of fundamentals, which is good. Lots of volume, which is good. The DAX futures move real well at 5 p.m. Yeah, nice. Yeah, DAX futures are good to trade. I've traded them before. They're definitely good for you guys in Australia who want to trade like an index. DAX is good. But yeah, let's start. I'm gonna break it down on the currency chart because most people are probably still looking at the currency chart. I'll just kind of see what's going on here on gold. At a glance, we came down and liquidated the lows we were talking about absolutely perfectly and pushed. Well, we did both really. We grabbed the highs and then we came and grabbed the lows, and that's what gold always does. Grabs the highs, break back below. You get that 140 tick push right into these lows. So then it liquidates the lows. Then even from here, you bounce out of there. There's another 60 ticks. So these are very, very big moves. I'm gonna clean up all these intraday levels, and we're gonna start again. We're gonna start from scratch. Let me just make sure no one else is trying to join the Zoom. Yeah, cool. We'll start from scratch. Let's go. Let's have a look at the weekly. So we had NFP on Friday. Oh no, actually, we're gonna look at the monthly. We've had that monthly close as well. So the monthly close on gold is still respecting this huge support, and we've actually closed still below 1950. Now 1950 is a very, very big level where we broke above, and we've actually closed back below. But this monthly in August has whipped out some serious lows. Now, coming into the winter months, this is where we typically see the most volume in the market. So this big wick on this monthly time frame is pretty interesting to see if we're going to get potentially, you know, another push back up, or are we going to get a wick fill? It's a very, very big level. What's up, Harry? What's going on, man? So yeah, big rejection on the monthly for August. Have a look at the weekly on gold. So the weekly started to find some resistance. You know, if gold is going to have, you know, a dip back down, you're at least going to come see it grab these highs and, you know, do something like this. You have that initial wick to the resistance, you come up, you grab the liquidity, and then you could be looking for that retracement. So I'd be watching last week's high as a potential liquidity point to come and get grabbed. Before then, you know, you may see gold come up like this, grab the highs, weekly close back below, then you could be getting some retracements back down into these levels. So we closed above this resistance here. If we have a look on the daily, I think NFP was a bit doji. Yeah, so we've closed very doji around a big level of resistance. So I'm just going to mark on Friday's high. Like this is a big rejection after grabbing these highs. So before you know, we were going to have this retracement. We had this initial wick, and this candle on Thursday didn't grab Wednesday's high, so that was the liquidity high that needed to be grabbed at some point before we could see a potential retracement. So now that we've grabbed them highs, it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to see some pullbacks back down into, you know, back down into these levels on gold. You probably got, let me just adjust these a little bit. You probably got this level here. Let's call it 1930 on the currency chart. Looks pretty nice to come back and retest before potentially pushing higher. If you do see gold dip lower, let me just clean this up. If you break back below this on gold, then you could see gold come down and create this big left shoulder. This is going to be the head. Come all the way back down for that right shoulder to then have a big push back up on gold. And this is where you could see gold have a pretty big swing push up. If we take on a fib like this, you know, we got that 71% sitting right around this level as well. So you got some pretty big retracements. And I wouldn't be looking, you know, straight away market open for shorts back down into this level. I'll be waiting to see if price can come back up, retest this resistance, and then, you know, I would get some shorts down into here and kind of assess how we react at this level. Because you could easily just tap into this level and just keep bouncing higher. But if you get closures below here, then the next long level would be down there, but you'd also be taking advantage of that short down there. And if you close back below there, well, you've already got shorts from here, so who gives a shit? So that's the daily on gold. Friday was very, very doji, but it's also, like I said, grabbed these highs here. So now that we've grabbed them highs there, you may, let me just get rid of this, you may come back up and retest this level one more time before potentially dipping back lower. So here you get this fake out, you close back below, you get that retest, and then you have the nice swing push back down. So if you get the pushes back up into these regions, respect these levels, then that's when you could see that retracement on an intraday perspective, you know, somewhere back down into maybe, let me just see, I'm just looking left, like there. Looks like a pretty nice level. Support, little fake out, resistance. Haven't yet quite come back down to retest that. You're going to see a potential trend line manipulation at some point coming up here as well. So whenever gold is going to bounce around this trend line, you'll see initial reaction. Retailers try jump in longs, and then that's when you could see that spike down. And you can take advantage of that move as well. You can take advantage of that trend line liquidity, catch like 20, 30, 40, 50 ticks. Amazing. This high, and at any point, you know, once gold does have these retracements, I think you want to be looking for these overall pushes back up, because overall, you know, that weekly has closed bullish, the monthly's left that big wick, so overall you want to see if you can take this higher, but I think we need to come back down, retrace some of this move, you know, grab some more liquidity. You had this little nice inverse head and shoulders there as well, broke above, retest, push higher. So gold does love these head and shoulders formations. And if you get that around, do the exact same once you get into these levels. Look for this exact same setup. Amazing, you push that higher. So if you get some bounces off this trend line, just remember this is probably a level where a lot of retailers are going to probably try and do something like this. Looking for this big play up. They may even have their stop loss like down below here. So you may even see gold spike all the way down there, grab that low, and then that's when you could see that big push up. But the beauty of waiting for a setup like this is I will short into that. I'll catch the wall. That's like a 200 tick push down. Amazing. I'll absolutely scalp that before a potential push back up. So you kind of have like an inner trend line like this, and then you kind of got you got like another outer trend line like this as well. So you kind of got two levels where you could see probably gold spike down into. Go on, lad. What up, Mark? What up? But to kind of assess how Monday goes, obviously it's a US bank holiday, so I assume you're probably just going to range. But if you range and creep your way up to here, coming into Tuesday, Thursday, see how we're reacting when them unemployment claims come out, or leading up to them unemployment claims. If price is pushing up, amazing, you could be looking for a big short. But if pre-unemployment claims we correct like down into these levels, amazing, you could be looking for that swing push back up. So on the hourly, hourly's looking good. You've wicked out some big support. We liquidated these lows that we were talking about on Friday. You've had that initial push back up, so I think you could see gold come up and retrace some of this move. Looking at on the hourly, I think this is a nice level to look for this push back up, which would be, you may come down, retest the lows a little bit more, but up into there, it's almost a 100 tick push, which is beautiful. So you have this level here, break above, quick little retest, instant push higher. So you break back above, come back down, from this range, see how we react. If you hold above that range, then just simple here to here, amazing. 80 tick range, absolutely. Fancy breaking down the pound? Yeah, Harry will break down the pound as well, man. Absolutely. Can break down the pound. I'll have a look at Nasdaq. Kind of see how the monthlies close, more importantly, because now that we've got August out of the way, that's all the summer months done, and that's when the markets become interesting. I stayed very patient in August. I took like less than 10 trades the entire month, knowing that August is typically the month where most retail traders blow up, and then they spend September up to Christmas trying to catch back the shit trades they took in August. Whereas for me, we came out profitable. I stayed pretty quiet. We still took some good trades, but now I'm fresh mentally, P&L and mentally ready to absolutely smash these winter months. So we're going to see some pretty good movement here. But this is kind of the levels to watch for on gold. I won't go any lower than the hourly because it's too much to jump in less than the hourly. When you've got bank holidays tomorrow. But overall, this high here looks like an interesting high to come and get liquidated, because before this big push back down here, we didn't wick out them highs. Whenever gold has a big push, you have this resistance. You wick out the highs, you respect it once, you wick it out again, you have that big push. You came up for this retracement, and we didn't yet grab these highs. So if you can creep back down into here and you get longs from this region, man, that could be an absolute beauty of a trade when that unemployment data comes out. So that's gold. That's the plan for gold. Watch for rejections on that trend line. Watch for liquidity spikes lower, and then see if you can get some trades. You can either take the shorts from this region back down into that if it comes in first, or if you break back below this level, amazing short into that trend line liquidity. So let's have a look. Let me just have a quick look at the Dow whilst I got it up here. Let me go on the monthly time frame. See how the Dow closed. Here we go with this. I think Nasdaq monthly close was actually pretty nice. Yeah, Dow's still respecting this resistance push higher. The thing is, like, so many people were talking about the big next market short coming in. But if you look at the markets on the high time frame, we're still so bullish. Like, we're still very, very bullish. This was the big short. If you wanted to catch any big retracement in the markets, this was it. That was it. To try and catch shorts after this insane push is crazy. But the good thing about Nasdaq is we've come back down and we've actually liquidated the previous monthly candle and almost flipped back bullish. We haven't yet, but we've almost come back up to flip back bullish. And anytime Nasdaq's going to have a push up, you know, look at this. Before this big push up, you have that resistance, you come down, you liquidate the low, you have the push. So we hadn't really liquidated any monthly candle lows before potentially seeing a pushback higher. So even here, you know, you come back down, you wick the low, you come back down, retest, push higher. Look at this. Wicks out some lows that hadn't been grabbed in a while. You grab that low, push higher. Or you actually wicked out the low then and it ended up dropping lower. So as long as you hold above this very key level there, in terms of swing moves, yeah, market still look bullish to me. Friday has closed. Sorry, that's the weekly. So the last week of August, look how that we broke back below that level, retested. So how many people do you think were seeing all these fundamentals about, oh my god, the big short, blah blah blah, and try and short this resistance? You know, stop loss sitting above, you know, probably that high, looking for this crazy retracement back down. You get that rejection, price wicks back up, and has now reclosed back above this key level. Just call it around there. Let's see if we could actually let me see how this sits. Yeah, so 15,000 is huge. Look at that. You can see here resistance 15,000 broke, resistance, support, a little fake out, support, broke back below resistance. Now reclosed back above 15,000. So as long as Nasdaq trades back above 15,000, there's no reason to think that the markets are just going to keep pushing down. So it's pretty nice to see that you did get that pretty strong close. So the next overall target on Nasdaq is going to be coming up to the weekly all-time highs all the way up here. Now, you know, on an intraday, this is just, I'm talking about a big weekly perspective. On an intraday perspective, I think you're going to see a pushback lower. Let's get rid of this. You know, we've liquidated these lows. I think if we're going to see a push higher, we could come and grab, what's this, Wednesday's low, retest these highs, liquidate this Wednesday low, and then you could be looking for that push. If we put on this level, you kind of got that support, resistance. So you're going to find some sort of resistance, which is going to give it a retracement before then looking to push back up. So, you know, you got unemployment claims again next week, so it's going to be a really big week. But if you can come back down, liquidate this low, and reject opposed to close below, respect these highs, yeah, you could be looking for that to have a nice little push back up. 4-hour time frame on Friday. Didn't really do a lot. It was the first day of the month, so you don't really expect too much. It kind of, you know, wicked out some highs off that NFP news, closed back below the resistance, but is also finding some support. So it's kind of messier than gold, but it's still kind of following the similar analysis of you've wicked out some highs. You know, you may see it come back up, retrace some of these levels, and dip back lower. You know, you've wicked out some highs, but you're also still finding some support. So you're in this very, very tight range, where you just simply want to be waiting for a breakout, wait for a closure, above or below, who cares? And then you can be looking for that next big move. Someone just knocked on the door. Give me 2 secs, guys. How many points would you on average like to target on NQ? Completely different, man. I don't really focus on like the points so much on NQ. I'm like, you know, obviously when I'm trading gold, I trade that a lot more. So on gold, I kind of know what my average is, like per day, I would say. But on Nasdaq, like it's completely different because it moves so much more volatile. So it's like you don't even have to trade that big of size and trade that big of moves to make good returns. Like some of the guys in the community have, you know, caught like a big ripper move like this. I think Mark caught this move up for like one contract. Like one contract made like almost $2,000 or something. So all depends on the position size that you're trading. But I just pretty much would just base it off the charts, base it off the range that you're kind of playing, as opposed to like, you know, limiting yourself as to how much you should be making. It's different for me because I'm still, you know, I'm still transitioning into Nasdaq. Gold is kind of my main focus and my main priority. And when it comes to gold, you know, like if on average, you know, I can make like an average of 10 ticks a day on gold, 10, 20 ticks 2 to 3 times a week, 10 contracts, that's amazing. That's literally all you need. And that's pretty much all we do, you know. Sometimes on gold I could take like 3 trades in one day, and then sometimes on gold I could take none. But on average, you know, we're typically averaging around like, I don't know, I'd say 100, 120 ticks per month. So like I only really watch Nasdaq if I haven't really had a gold trade in the US session. I took one trade last week on Nasdaq, and it was a very small scalp. Let me see if I still got the. I think I took the screenshot I sent to community guys. Maybe I deleted it. I'm not sure. What is it? Yeah, Friday. So Friday I took a very small scalp on Nas, $725, and that was in literally like the trade time was literally 2 minutes. I don't think I can share the screenshot there. But yeah, it all depends on me. I just take whatever the markets give me. But yeah, I get out when the markets tell me to get out, and I take out as much as I can. You know, if I ride a big move like this, man, I just trail my stops. You know, if I'm in like 10 contracts or whatever down here, you know, I'll be trailing like 5 contracts, leave the other 5 at break even. And, you know, once my 50% kind of gets trailed and taken out, then, you know, I'll consider trailing the rest of it. But I'll get out as the markets tell me to get out, as opposed to getting out because I like the look of the dollar amount or it's my point or tick target. It just is completely dependent on the markets. So yeah, I would say just take what the markets give you. Sometimes the markets will give you, like on gold, 10 ticks. Sometimes the markets will give you 20, 30, 40, 50. It all depends. Hello, bro. Hope you're well. What's up, Ryan, man? I'm good, thank you. Got chat in the chat here in the community. So helpful, good man. What do you think of long-term 6-12 months in the S&P? Let's have a look, man. Let's have a look at NAS. Let's have a look at S&P. Let me have a look. But yeah, we've got Hayward in the chat, who's almost like a lifelong member in the Discord group, who's been in it for a very, very long time now. Very, very long time. So it's like pretty similar with Nasdaq, the S&P, where, well, it's more interesting here because, you know, we've wicked out July's low, but you haven't actually closed bullish. So August has still technically closed bearish, and closed back above this key resistance here. And you got very key resistance at like 4,600. Let me just, so you've got 4,550, 46,000, sorry, 4,600 is a big level. And then you got big support and resistance at like 4,300. So we're kind of, you know, in an overall perspective of the markets, like I said, a lot of people think that, you know, you're going to get a big short from here. You know, people talk about the next big short coming in, which I don't think it's the case. Like we're still very bullish. If there was a time to get involved with a nice big short play, that was it. If you're trying to jump into here, man, you've already missed the move. People will be looking for this to retrace. As long as you trade above this level, for me, there's no reason to keep this, to see the S&P just keep pushing higher. On a big, like, long-term perspective, you know, you may come back down and, you know, retest around these regions. But I think with the way that you've wicked out that monthly low, you know, you may come back down to maybe test that previous low, the July low, one more time and then keep pushing up. But as it stands, yeah, I think you'll just keep pushing up. I don't know if I have any... yeah, so you got some... Let me put some long-term moving averages on. So even though not even anywhere near these moving averages. You see, like, last time we bounced off this moving average was back in March 2020. That was at the recovery of, you know, COVID times. And this is what? This is the 50, and I got the 200 down here as well. Just looking at kind of, you know, like a longer term moving trend. We're still very, very bullish. So for me, yeah, still going to keep pushing higher. It's going to be interesting to see what happens, you know, as most of the world is going back into winter months soon. And, you know, we're already talking about boosters and all that crap again. So it'll be interesting to see how the markets react to the winter months. But yeah, overall, man, I think we keep pushing higher. There's the possibility for it to pull back on a much higher time perspective, but even on the daily, you would need to get pretty strong bearish closures back below, call it like, what, 40, yeah, 4,500. I mean, even there, like, let me just say, like, just leave it there. As long as you hold above this level, you could keep pushing up. You just have a gap there on the S&P as well, which, you know, maybe at some point will get filled, but overall, yeah, I think you keep pushing higher. Now, Harry said to have a look at the pound. Let's have a look. What was it? 6B? Yeah, let's have a look at the pound futures. So I don't normally look at the monthly time frame, guys, but because you have had that monthly close, it's worthwhile just taking a look to see how it closed, just to kind of get a long-term perspective. So on the pound, kind of got a big level down there. You come back down and retest. So oh, is that the first push in September? That's a pretty strong push down for the first push of the month. But in August on the pound futures, you know, you're still holding above this resistance support, but you've also found a pretty big level, like 1.3 is a very big level for the pound that you just kind of rejected in a pretty steep push back down. I won't analyze the high time frame too much. I'm sure you're thinking of an intraday perspective, but let's just have a look for what we could see this week. So previous week came up, grabbed the highs, broke below the support. Last week's come back up, retested this level. So I think this week you could probably see pound futures have a push back down to probably somewhere back down into this low here. You know, you've probably got a little trend line coming up like here that you've probably already broken out. So you've already broken out a little retest to keep pushing lower. So potential pushes down overall into that low. Just broke it. It's high as always. No worries, man. No worries. Hope it helped. Hope it helped, man. Let's see. So we got the daily. Yes, the daily on the pound. Any retracement, and I'll be shorting back down into these lows here. These lows here look like a nice level to come and get grabbed. You know, if you start to throw some rejections from this level, so it'll be your typical retail trap, where you'll look to do something like this. Retailers will look for this big play up. And then that's when, you know, you'll see that spike into the lows. You know, if you see that nice, retracement, any pushback up into these levels, I'd be shorting down into that, short down into that low. And then if you keep pushing low, amazing, we've already got a short. But if you bounce from there and re-push it up, well, you've got the short, you've made your money, and you can just kind of see what happens. But the daily has closed, daily and weekly have closed nice and bearish. So I'm just going to formally go 4 hour. 4 hour, look at that. 4 hour came up, liquidate them highs. I don't even know when we drew it. I'm going to drew it on Friday. came up, liquidated them highs, dipped back down pretty well. So I'll be watching that low down there. You know, you may see it come back up and, you know, retrace and retest some of that. You never know. If you can get it, you get spikes up into these levels, amazing. If you short down into that level, on pound futures into lows, amazing move. Very, very nice move. So yeah, for me, more downside on pound futures. Look at that, it came up, looking at that high, completely pushed back lower. So I think you may come back down, you may grab this low, but on any retracements either from here or from here, I want to be looking for that push down. Alex, hey brother, when do we start live New York sessions in your group? Not anytime soon, unfortunately, man. London's my thing, really. You know, being here in Australia, for me, US session is at like 11:30 p.m. So I prefer to make my money on gold, and then I don't really care about what the US session does. I make enough in London that I don't really have to watch it. Sometimes, you know, I will watch it in the evening if there's news worthwhile watching, or if I haven't had a trade in London, I'll watch it, and you know, I'll be active in the Discord sharing setups. But for live streaming, I'm just not really in the zone at like, you know, 11:30 at night. But you know, I'll always share trade setups in the group during the US session time. But for time being, I just love London that much that it just gives me much more freedom to not even have to watch the US session. But you know, I may even start doing like, you know, pre-New York levels and breakdowns and stuff like that, or maybe go on live in the voice channel on Discord, something like that. But sitting on stream for like, you know, 2 hours at like 11:30 p.m. my time, it's just not, it's not ideal. Obviously being here in Australia, and the fact, you know, we make that good a bank in London. But maybe at some point, maybe. Never say never. Let's have a look. Crude oil. Thanks, mate. Yeah, no worries, Harry. No worries. Do you think we can keep pushing up? Oh yeah, it's a big push. I haven't looked at oil in a while. Wow, look at this. What a rip. Ah, is it oil? See, oil has finally broken out of this horrible range that you have literally been stuck in since November. Almost a year. I haven't touched oil because it's been in this horrible range now. I used to swing trade oil a lot. I haven't traded it in a while because this range has just been absolutely insane. And this is the first time you finally got a weekly close back above, like, you know, $84, $84, $83. It's the first time you've closed above that level since back in October 2022. So yeah, for me, keep pushing. You know, you've come down, you've liquidated some lows, you found that support, you wick out the daily low, come back down for the retest, re-break the highs, keep pushing higher. So yeah, next level on oil is going to be this double top sitting up here at like, let's just do it on with a key level. In terms of like around level, $90 is going to be very significant. Let's just put this on the weekly. Yeah, $90. Look at that. You break above support, you get a lot of orders being thrown around this way. You're getting so much, you know, break below, break back above, retest. A lot of noise and a lot of market movement at $90 on the daily time frame. Let's just have a look. Yeah, you know, on the daily, you know, you may come back down and grab some daily lows, but if it's strong enough, if you know how oil moves, oil can just keep pushing for like the next 2-3 days. Whatever, you've already kind of done that. So you had that support there. You wicked out the lows, closed bullish. Doji wicked out the low, re-broke the highs, kept pushing higher. So you kind of already, that's kind of already the bullish run. See how you start the week. But yeah, as it stands, we're very bullish. Next target's probably going to be $90, but I think the fact that you finally broken out of, look at this. This is just like, all of this noise was just an absolutely horrible range. You wick out the lows, you accumulate, and then you finally are having that nice big breakout. So at any point you may swing back and just keep pushing higher and come back down and, you know, retest like $85 and just keep pushing. But oil can move really well with good volume, and when you get good breakouts on a high time frame. So the fact that you have now broken out is what you want to see. You know, any retracements, likes up, yeah, right. Get them likes up, man. Get them likes up. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, people. See you on stream. Enjoy Harry. Take it easy, man. Yeah, even like, yeah, this is, was this like NFP or something? When was NFP? No, this has been on a push since Thursday. Yeah, look at that. This is an absolutely huge push. I haven't looked at oil in a while. That's an insane run. Look at that. Oil can just, when it breaks out, oil can just absolutely run. That's the last time I did analysis, back in, yeah, end of August. Did some analysis, and you've absolutely just had a huge push, big push. So I wouldn't, you know, don't catch the top. Let me clean this up. Don't catch the top. Don't try and predict too much. If you're gonna have a retracement, you're gonna range for at least a day, 2 days, and then amazingly you could see that push back down. You may see some lows come and get grabbed, and you know, if you can come back down and retest these weekly highs, which is that level there, amazing. But even there you've broken out, already retested, pushing higher. But even if you just took that move from literally there to there, yeah, amazing. But yeah, as it stands, keep pushing higher on oil. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the gold analysis. You know, there'll be no trading on Monday with the US bank holidays. But overall, next week, you're going to have some, hopefully, some pretty good volume. Coming into the winter months, there's not a huge amount of news. I'm just seeing if you've got anything listed anywhere else. But you have enough news to give the market some good pushes. So you come in September, yeah. So you've got, yeah, there's a lot coming up next week. But technicals are looking beautiful. Technicals are looking really nice. If anyone did miss the stream, don't worry. I will upload this once we have finished the stream. But yeah, Zoom guys, I'll see you guys on Zoom from Tuesday onwards. We'll go live every single day for the London session. So Zoom guys, I'll chat to you guys in Discord. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Bye. And YouTube, for you guys, I will be live streaming on YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday in the Asian session, and then every Wednesday and Friday for the London session. So if you guys did enjoy this analysis and the Sunday market breakdown, remember, drop a little like. I'll try and do these every single Sunday, and I'll re-upload this recap. If anyone did miss any of the analysis at any of the levels, you guys will be able to go watch this. It should be up within like the hour. But don't trade tomorrow. Take the day off. Enjoy life. Come fresh on Tuesday, and I'll see you guys for the Asian stream. Trade safe next week. Be smart, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.